Cardinal, you're a part of this committee of 8 that's been appointed by the Pope to advise him on questions of governance and reform of the curia. And I'm just wondering, what do you see as the main objective or purpose of this established committee?
It was a desire of the pre-conclave meetings that the Pope needed more information from the bases, not only from the nunciators and the Secretary of State, and there was a suggestion to appoint cardinals from the 5 continents in order to, to communicate with the Pope more easily. And then he just appointed us in order to help him in the reformation of the curia. That was also a desire from the pre-conclave.
When it comes to questions of reform and governance, what are the kinds of things that we're talking about? Is this practical changes at the departmental levels, or is it kind of a bigger picture thing that has to do with approach, attitude, that kind of thing?
There have been reformations in the curia in many times. The first was in the 16th century. Then we had the Reformation promoted by Pius X at the beginning of the 20th century. Then we had another one after Vatican II from Paul VI. Then we had the actual Pastor Bonus that was from John Paul II in 1989. And so there was a wish in many cardinals that is necessary to make some changes, important changes. They will take place, but we didn't start our meeting yet. So we have been collecting suggestions. There have been suggestions from all the 5 continents, and at the beginning of October we will start.
Very good. Now, the meeting that you referred to is going to be taking place just in a few days, October 1st to October 4th.
Yes.
And you're ending that meeting by going with Pope Francis to Assisi. What's the significance of going on that?
Well, he invited us to go to join him because it's a sign of collegiality as well, and especially because Assisi has a special significance for all the Church, but especially for the Pope. He chose that name. He just clearly stated that he did it because he admires St. Francis of Assisi and he wanted a poor church for the poor.
All the things that we've been talking about come back to this question of collegiality that you mentioned. Clearly this is something that the Pope is very interested at this particular time for the Church. You've been a part of many synods. The Synod of Bishops is a very important part of the life of the Church. What are you hearing from Pope Francis when it comes to synodality, collegiality in general, as the Church is moving forward at this point?
Sometimes the Eastern Church used to say, okay, the Church has not synodality, has collegiality, but not synodality. And Benedict answered, we have synodality in a circular way, but of course it's necessary to improve it. Synodos means walking together. And so walking together means that collegiality is not only a matter of, I am in my diocese, you are in your diocese, but we are a collegium of bishops. Synodality means let's go and walk together. It means that the synod will be maybe transformed in a more agile way of the Pope to consulting the Church and to walking together with especially in the problems of the Church.
You came to this plenary assembly of the Canadian bishops to speak specifically about what the bishop's role is when it comes to the Church's work in charity, peace, justice, development, this topic. But you also emphasized in your talk the role of the faithful, the people on the ground, and work specifically at the parish level. Why this strong influence with emphasis, I should say, on doing this work at the grassroots level?
Because the majority of the Church are the lay men and women. And many times people think, oh, there is a problem and the Church doesn't speak. The church is not the hierarchy. We are the less part of the church. The biggest part are the laymen and women, and we have to, how could I say, to awake the conscience that the laymen and women are very important in the church. And so, especially in matters of justice, peace, and charity, we need more participation. And many times we reduce the laymen and women only to observers. No, they are very important participants, and it's necessary to awake this.
Your talk to the Canadian bishops was also heavily influenced by the thought and the writings of Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI when it comes to charity. I'm wondering, what do you see as Pope Benedict's legacy or lasting influence on the Church's social doctrine? What was new that he brought to the conversation?
I believe that he brought to the center the role of love in the Church. Deus Caritas it's a key document in order to bring back to the Church the real image of God that has been then developed by Francis, enhancing that love is mercy, love is kindness, love is like caressing as a mother does with the babies. And this is the way we have to approach in the approach of the Good Samaritan. The legacy of Benedict is enormous. And not only Deus Caritas es, but Caritas in Veritate as well. And hope, Spe Salvi. I believe that this is really a great treasure that Benedict left to the Church.
And there's so much there that it seems like it might take years and years before we really dissect it and understand what was at the heart of this.
Of course, and I hope that these encyclical letters are not going to be forgotten.
Cardinal, thank you very much for taking some time to speak to us, and best of luck in Rome as you begin these meetings.
Thank you, and all the best for the Canadian Catholics and the Canadian people in general.